Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Stacy. I am Stress Knits on Instagram and I'm coming to you from Detroit, Michigan, where I live with my husband Doug, our daughter Eliza, and our pug Esther, who you'll hear kind of tiptoeing around. Today is, it's a day in August. It's a Saturday. It's the end of August and I've tried to record this a couple of times over the past few weeks and nothing has stuck. So here I am sitting with you and I'm going to be talking to you about what I've been knitting. So I do have a finished object and this was a labor of love. I cast this on as my 30th birthday project. I cast it out on my 30th birthday in February, about 6 months ago. And it's finally done. I finished it a week or two ago. It's blocked. I still need to weave in some ends, but it is what it is. I'm not wearing it today because it is freaking hot today. We went through one of our first false autumns this past week where everything was 60 degrees and beautiful. And now it's in the mid 80s and I can't do it anymore. I'm so ready for the crisp fall days. But I will wear this eventually. I still need to take finished object photos. But here it is. It is my Awilda sweater. This is a pattern by Caitlin Hunter of Boylan Knitworks, and I used Dimond Laine, which is a yarn by the Linen Quill, in a couple of colors. So the main color, this perfect oatmeal color, is Cookie, and then the contrast colors, we have Spritz, Dial Tone, Goldenrod, Cinder, and this light pink is Pirouette. I absolutely love this sweater. It fits really well. It's oversized like a sweatshirt. I really love it. It's beautiful. And I do really enjoy it. The only complaint I have about this sweater, and I just think it's worth noting because also I don't know if there is a better way to do this than just weaving in ends, but because of the chart, there are rows where you're only doing one row of color work, so you're not fully completing the round. So maybe I should have gone one row past, but there were no instructions about that in the pattern. So I do have some holes I need to seam up, which will be fine. I did it towards the top. It's not perfect, but that kind of stuff doesn't bother me very much. But I just want you to keep that in mind in case it is something that bothers you. But I love it. I think it's a beautiful sweater. This yarn is my new favorite. I love Dimond Laine Elmer. It is a merino cashmere blend and it's lovely. So that is my finished 30th birthday sweater. Happy to have it off the needles. Fingering weight sweater is quite a commitment, but it is done. There is that. Let's see. One thing I've been working on a ton is my Soho Square. So this is the Soho Square by, oops, my crochet hook, okay. By Jackie Rose of Jackson Rose. And it's just lovely. So I love these giant wraps, the half and half triangles wrap being a project that I knit on a lot, and I didn't make any last year, but I did cast this one on and I ended up turning it into a Soho Square. So I started this last year. I knit a bunch of this beautiful blue in Seattle when I went to Flock last year with my mom, and I knit the rest of this bit when I was in Arizona with my friends for our 30th birthday. And I am now on a mission to finish this before the first day of school. So for us, it's September 3rd. And I would just really like to finish this before then so that I can start a new wrap. I'm on the fence between if I'm going to do a Soho Square or a half and half triangles wrap. But we'll talk about that at a later date once this is finally off the needles, because it's been on my needles for over a year. So I am using my favorite yarn, Purl Soho Linen Quill. It is a wool linen alpaca blend in 4 colors because the Soho Square is 4 colors. So the first main color is Bird's Egg Blue. Then we have honey pink and turmeric yellow. And the second half is baked earth, which is maybe my favorite color that they've put out so far. I'm still hoping for like a burnt orange one of these days, but I'm very happy with the baked earth. I have finished, I have one more row of the first stripe on the second half. So let me stand up and show you what we're working with. So here she is. There we go. I love it. I cannot wait to wrap myself up in this. My coat is green, so I think this will be great. I am probably gonna wear it on the other side if we're being perfectly honest with ourselves. Just little peaks of blue poking out. I cannot recommend the Soho Square enough. It's so much fun to put together a 4-color palette. This is the first time I have knit the wrap, but I've knit every single size. So there's a wink, there is the Soho Square, and then there is the wrap. And I just love it. I really do. It's stunning. I'm a big fan, and I will continue to knit half and half wraps in Soho Squares for years to come, because even when I'm not cranking out 5 a year, I am just so thrilled to have something on my needles that is so stress-free, because it is the start of the school year, and a big part of my job is enrollments and scheduling classes, and this is just a time of year where I don't want to think very much when I come home. And so I've been sitting in the evenings, I'm starting Gilmore Girls again, and knitting on my Soho Square. I love it so much. I actually brought down my skein of honey pink to put into this after I record. That's my Soho Square. Again, love it, love it, love it. And because I'm kind of going through this resurgence of my love of Linen Quill, I have so many projects that I have planned using this yarn. I think I talked about this a while ago, a month ago maybe, but I have started a new temperature blanket for my daughter Eliza. It is based on her first year of life, so June 14th to June 14th of the year she was born. And I'm using Linen Quill to do so. And I'm also using a Clover E hook. These are the Amore hooks. They're my absolute favorite. And here it is so far. Let me put it the right way. So I did a hot pink row for like the day before her birthday to start off, and then I'm going to finish the blanket with the hot pink at the very end. But because she was born in June, it's like 3.5 months of mostly these colors, and it's not my favorite, but she loves it. Every time I'm working on it, she like pets it. She's like, oh, so pretty, it's so cute. And I'm just happy that she loves it. It is the perfect size. I think I chained 200 something. I have all of my notes in my Ravelry page, but it's my wingspan. It's the perfect kind of throw blanket size. I didn't want it to be massive. I didn't want it to be too small. So I'm very happy with it. The colors that you can see so far. So this is Flamingo Pink, Kiln Red, Poppy Red, Sweet Potato, Turmeric Yellow, Dandelion Yellow. I think that's all I've worked on with it so far, but I have it in this basket I got from Target with all of my colors in here. I cannot wait to get to some of the other colors that are more in my color palette, but she really loves this. One of her favorite things from Disney is Te-Ka from Moana. She's both very fascinated by Te-Ka and afraid of Te-Ka, and so she thinks of fire when she sees this, and she's enjoying it very much. So a temperature blanket, it is just a simple granny striped blanket. I'm not following any pattern. I think Attic 24, A-T-T. Why am I trying to spell attic? I'm very bad at spelling. I'm not going to do that. But there's an attic, like in your house, like an Attic 24 pattern that is kind of loosely what I've used, but it's just a granny stripe blanket. I'm very embarrassed that I tried to spell. Something about me is I'm terrible at spelling out loud. Spelling bees were nightmares for me. I'm fine if I'm writing it down because I know what it's supposed to look like. But man, spelling things out loud, not for me. But yes, it's just a simple granny stripe blanket. Nothing special. It's 3 double crochets into every hole. I have no idea if that's correct because I'm very much a beginner crocheter, but that is my blanket. Now, I have these really wonderful basic patterns going, and I decided to cast on 2 sweaters because I finished my Awilda sweater, and I was like, you know what, I have 2 sweaters that I want to do. They're both in worsted weight, so I think they're going to go pretty quickly, and I haven't really worked on one of them for a while, but you have not seen it. I'm sorry, I'm tangled in Esther's trying to play. Okay. You haven't seen it quite yet. Oh, no, I'm going to start with a different cast on that you haven't seen yet because the last thing should be the most exciting, right? This is a project that has been in my queue kind of for years. This is the Field Day jacket by Ozetta. So I was originally going to knit the Field Day cardigan, but I took my gauge swatch. I got exact gauge for the jacket, and so I'm going to crop it like I would knit the cardigan so that it's hip length, and that's really the only modification I'm making. I'm just going to make it shorter because the jacket is kind of like thigh length, and I want this to be at the base of my hips like a normal cardigan. So I was gifted yarn from the Linen Quill to make this sweater, and I'm so thankful for that because it's beautiful yarn. This is the Linen Quill Todd Worsted and Moonwink. Moonwink is maybe my favorite dark gray there is. It's a dark gray. There's brown in it. And I really, really love it. And this is a 100-gram hank, which I think is on the website. But it is a cashmere yak blend, and it is so soft and warm. And I think this is going to be the perfect material in this sweater. So then I also am pairing it with Balsamic on Birdie, which is their alpaca silk base, and Balsamic is another beautiful brown gray color. So these are what I'm holding together, and it is creating this beautiful fabric. It is moving along. I stopped here because I need to just knit back and forth. Here we go. This is the top. I need to knit back and forth until I hit the length that it's supposed to be for the back. And then this is the first time I've ever knit a cardigan in this kind of construction. I've done tops like this, so I'm not unfamiliar with it, but it's just a little different, so I can't do it on autopilot mode just yet. But holding this and just knowing that this is going to be on my skin is making me so excited. And I'm already thinking of what color I can use to knit a mini mock neck tank to go along with this color. I do have Balsamic in Trio from the Lemon Kid, but I think I want to do like a light color to go underneath this. So we'll see what that turns into. But I really love this color. I fell in love with this color combination because when I knit my mom a Saturday shrug, which is just like that 1x1 tube, she loves it. I think she's allergic to it, but I think she's afraid to tell me. But I used this combo as one of the stripes, and I really fell in love with the way that this looks. So I don't know, it's just very special because this color combo reminds me of my mom and picking out stuff for her Saturday shrug this time last year. Yes, so actually I'm gonna do that real quick. So for those of you who are new here, this time last year my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer, and she has been undergoing treatment for the past year. She is doing very well. And I just want to say thank you for everyone's thoughts and prayers over this past year. We're coming up on she just had her second to last treatment yesterday. So we've got one more treatment in September, and then hopefully she's done. It's just very exciting, and I'm feeling a lot of feelings this time of year. So working on this, it reminds me of just how far we've all come in this past year, because this time last year I was making her a Saturday shrug to keep her warm for chemo. So yes, very, very exciting. But I've had a couple of questions about how she was doing, and so I just thought I would put that in right here. She's doing great. Okay, so there's that. Last but certainly not least is a project I worked on really hard for like 2 days and then I put it down to finish up my Awilda sweater and work on my Soho Square and cast on my field day jacket. And that is the 2024 Rhinebeck sweater by Andrea Mowry, the framed sweater. So again, I am not going to Rhinebeck this year. It is not in the cards, but I just fell in love with the sweater instantly, and I shared my inspiration on the last episode. The inspiration is my mom's mom, my maternal grandmother, who was an avid quilter. And I have a quilt that sits in my living room on the back of a chair as decor because it's stunning, it's beautiful. I think she made it in the 80s, and she was a hand quilter. She didn't use machines. And it's just so special to have it. And when I saw this motif, I just thought of my grandma, and I thought about that quilt that I look at every day. And so I picked out some yarn that would give me a little bit of an updated version of that color palette. And so I went with rerum natura Gilliat, which is their worsted weight base in the Erable colorway, and the Spincycle Dreamstate in Pale September, which is an exclusive to Shop La Mercerie. I love this. In the frame color, I'm holding rerum natura ulysse double, and this is the Poivre Blanc colorway. So this is my framed color palette, and this is my framed sweater. I love it. It looks incredible on camera. It looks beautiful on, like, to my eye on this table right now, but there's something about putting color work on camera for the first time that just really shows you if you're doing the right thing or not, and I really am happy with how this is coming together. So I'm knitting the size 5, I believe, and I want it to be a little boxier. I'm doing an extra repeat of the motif, so I'll have 6 of these blocks before I split for sleeves, and I'm really excited. I like having projects that are things I don't have to think about, like my field day jacket and my granny stripe and my Soho Square, but this is kind of my, I want to work my brain and I want to think about things, and I absolutely love it. The pattern is well written as always, and the chart is lovely. I will say that if you are someone who has a hard time keeping track sometimes, the repeat isn't super long. So what I would do if you're having trouble with these is just put stitch markers on every repeat, so for every square, and that will be easier to keep your mind together. I'm actually considering doing that myself because I have gotten off a couple of times. It's super easy to catch when you're off though, so that is a plus side. This is what my insides look like. I'm basically catching floats every 5 stitches if I need to. If there are floats longer than 5, I will catch them. That's it. I love this sweater. I am just really thrilled with how it's coming out, and I cannot wait to see it finished. Yes, frame sweater, Andrea Mowry. I'm also really loving everyone's color combinations. I think it's so fun. Yes, I love it. So there is that, and that is what I have been working on the past month-ish, somewhere in there. I've just been really enjoying everything I'm working on. With the weather starting to change and fall just around the corner, football season is around the corner, which I'm super jazzed about. And there's something about sitting and watching a football game and knitting that is just one of my favorite things. And the Lions have a lot of night games this year, which is good for me because Eliza doesn't love watching football, so usually I'm watching it with like headphones on my computer. But this way I'll be able to watch on the TV when she goes to sleep. And I don't know, I'm really excited about football season. Okay, and I'm really thinking about that because the last preseason game is in an hour, and I'm just thinking about it. So with that, if you can hear Esther chomping on a treat, yeah, that is everything. If you, Stress Knits Yarn News, if you ordered the Autumn Florals mini skein set, it should be shipping next week. It will start shipping next week. Everything should be out by next Monday. I'm just finishing everything up, and I will be packaging starting Monday and getting stuff out. Hopefully by, my goal is by Thursday, but it might be by Monday. But yes, everything is, I'm so excited for everyone to see this mini set. Okay, so I think that is everything. I will stop rambling. Nothing else is important, I don't think. And I hope you are enjoying the last little bits of summer, and for everyone who's already had to go back to school, I hope you're enjoying your new routine. So I will see you hopefully soon with some much needed is a bad word, but much anticipated progress on my projects. Yes, okay, bye.